So even if they can't offer you a different title or salary right away, you can still advocate for access to high visibility opportunities that put your name in the rooms that matter. Because building your reputation internally is just as important as building your resume. Hey, I'm Tine, your pivot and pay strategist. I help Black women double their income by leveraging their existing skills. I am all about getting Black women paid, whether you're an employee or a business owner. And you're listening to the Getting Black Women Paid podcast. Let's go. Hey, friends. Welcome back to the Getting Black Women Paid podcast. I'm your host, Tine, pivot and pay strategist and founder and CEO of Getting Black Women Paid. And I am so excited to dig into today's episode. But first, if you missed last week's episode, we talked about 5 powerful negotiation tactics every Black woman needs to know. Seriously, go back and add that one to your playlist, because today's conversation is going to build right on top of it. We're digging into 10 creative, non-salary items you can negotiate for in your next offer. Here's why this matters. Not everything that makes a job worth it shows up in the salary line. You deserve an entire life upgrade, not just a paycheck. And trust me, these creative asks can seriously change the game. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was about 6 months pregnant, I was interviewing for a new role. I knew that the company normally required employees to work for a full year before they would qualify for their full maternity leave benefits. But listen, I negotiated for them to waive that time requirement, and they agreed because I asked. And that's the thing. A lot of these benefits, they're negotiable if you know how to ask for them. The same goes for things like tuition reimbursement, professional development budgets, and even relocation assistance. All things that don't necessarily hit the salary line, but that can massively impact your life, your career, and your peace of mind. So stick around till the end, because I'm dropping a few wildcard items you might not even know that you can put on the table. All right, let's dig into it. All right, let's get right into it. The first creative non-salary item to negotiate is a signing bonus. Let's be real. Salary is the foundation. If you can negotiate a higher salary, that's usually preferable because future raises, bonuses, and even retirement contributions are often calculated as a percentage of your salary. But if the salary can't move much, a signing bonus can be a great consolation prize. Here's a real story from my own journey. After a layoff, I was nearing the end of my severance period and needed a new job fast. I was offered a role, but it came with a pretty significant pay cut. I still negotiated because we don't just accept the first offer, okay? And I asked for an additional $20,000. They weren't able to meet me anywhere close to that on salary, but they did come up with $2,000 in salary and offered me a $5,000 signing bonus to help soften the blow. Now, was it ideal? No. But that $5,000 right up front helped me recover from the income gap during unemployment and gave me some breathing room as I transitioned into the new role. Moral of the story? If the salary can't come up, don't just take it. No questions asked. A signing bonus can help bridge the gap. And remember, just because they didn't offer a signing bonus up front doesn't mean it's off the table. You have to ask. The second item you can negotiate is Relocation assistance. Listen, if a company is asking you to move for a job, that is an investment on your part. Uprooting your life isn't free, and it shouldn't come out of your own pocket without negotiation. Relocation assistance can cover things like moving costs, temporary housing, travel expenses for the housing hunt, even help with selling your current home if you're a homeowner. Sometimes companies even partner with relocation firms to make the whole process smoother for you. Here's the thing. Even if the offer doesn't mention relocation assistance, you can still ask. If the budget is tight, they might offer you a lump sum, like a $5,000 or $10,000 relocation stipend, or they might reimburse actual expenses. Either way, you deserve to have the cost of moving covered if they want you enough to bring you across state lines. And pro tip, even if you're moving just one city over, if the move materially changes your commute, your housing, or your cost of living, you can still make the case for some relocation support. Ask. The third creative thing to negotiate is professional development budget. Gone are the days when companies should expect you to develop yourself on your own dime. If they want you to show up sharp, strategic, and ready to grow the business, they should be investing in your growth. A professional development budget can cover conferences, certification programs, industry memberships, online courses, coaching, even books and resources that keep your skills sharp. And here's the real power move. When you negotiate professional development dollars, you're not just getting a perk. You're building your skill set on their budget, not yours. That way, even if you move on later, you walk away even more valuable than when you walked in. For example, maybe there's a $2,000 certification that could level up your leadership skills. Or maybe there's a conference that could expand your network. Don't be shy about asking what budget is available for professional development. And if they say they don't have a policy, that's your chance to help them create one, starting with you. The fourth thing you might want to negotiate is flexible work arrangements. Flexibility isn't just a nice to have, it's a quality of life issue. Maybe you want to work from home 2 days a week. Maybe you need flexible start and end times to accommodate childcare or elder care. Maybe you want a 4-day work week or a compressed schedule. Here's the thing. Even if the job listing says hybrid or in office, that's not set in stone until you sign. Flexibility is often one of the easiest things for them to offer because it costs them less than bumping up your salary. But you have to ask. So here's a quick example. Plenty of people negotiate flexible arrangements like remote Fridays, compressed work weeks, or flexible start times during the hiring process, even when it wasn't initially advertised. It's all about showing how the arrangement supports your performance and protects your energy. Pro tip, frame it like this. This flexible arrangement would allow me to be more productive, avoid burnout, and stay fully engaged long term. Because when you thrive, the company thrives too. Full stop. The fifth thing you can ask for is extra vacation time. Listen, 2 weeks is not a universal standard. It's just what a lot of companies default to because they assume people won't push back. But you can absolutely ask for more. Even if you're early in your career. When I landed my first software developer job after finishing coding bootcamp, they initially offered 2 weeks of vacation. I asked for 4 weeks, and even as a brand new developer, I negotiated up to 3 weeks. You don't have to wait until you're senior to advocate for the rest and recharge you need. And even if the company says our policy is 2 weeks, you can sometimes negotiate for additional floating holidays, personal days, or a few extra PTO days to make up the difference. Flex those options and protect your peace from the start. All right, we've already covered some powerful ways to negotiate for more support, more flexibility, and more balance in your next role. And we are not stopping there, because after the break, we're getting into the benefits that build your future wealth, boost your leadership visibility, and protect your peace. Stay with me. Hey, sis, real quick. Ever wish you had a coach in your pocket for those moments when the strategy isn't clear, the doubt creeps in, or the stakes feel high? Whether you're navigating a tough job convo or making big moves in your business, Pocket Coaching with Tine is that support you've been missing. You drop your question in Slack, and I hit you back with strategy, with clarity, with care, usually within one business day. It's $197 a month, and right now, when you sign up, you'll get a free 60-minute prosperity power hour to map out your goals. That one-on-one session is normally $497, and it's yours free when you sign up now. So if you're ready to move different in your work, your money, and your purpose, go to www.gettingblackwomenpaid.com/pocket. Again, that's gettingblackwomenpaid.com/pocket. Let's get you the support you actually need. All right, let's get back to the episode. All right, welcome back. I hope you're feeling inspired because we are just getting warmed up. Let's keep it rolling. The sixth creative non-salary item you can negotiate is tuition reimbursement. This one is especially important if you're planning to continue your education while working, whether it's finishing a degree, earning a certification, or taking specialized training. Some companies offer tuition assistance, but even if they don't advertise it, you can still negotiate for it. Here's the key. Lots of employers have policies where you need to be employed for a certain amount of time, usually a year, before you're eligible for tuition reimbursement. But if you're already in a program or you know you want to get started right away, you can negotiate to have that waiting period waived. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I've done this myself. When I was 6 months pregnant, I negotiated for my employer to waive the 1-year requirement so I could get my full maternity leave benefits. You can use that same strategy for your tuition. If you're already enrolled in a program or planning to start soon, ask them to waive the waiting period so you can access the funds right away. It's a win-win. You get the support for your growth, and they get a more skilled employee. The seventh thing you can negotiate for, a total game changer, an early performance review. Now, this one is one of my favorites, especially if the initial title or salary they offer isn't quite where you want it to be. Here's how it works. Instead of accepting a lower offer and just hoping you'll get a raise someday, build it into your offer. Say something like, I'm excited to come in and make an immediate impact. Given the level I'm entering at, would you be open to a formal performance review after 6 months rather than waiting the standard 12? If they agree, and they often will, you've now created a structured, official opportunity to advocate for a raise, a bonus, or even a title bump based on the results you can show. And let me say this clearly, the work will not speak for itself. I know we've been taught that if you just put your head down, grind, and over-deliver, someone will notice and reward you. But the truth? The people who get ahead are the ones who advocate for themselves. Your brilliance deserves to be seen. Your impact deserves to be named. And setting up an early review gives you the perfect platform to tell that story and to advocate for the compensation and recognition that reflect the value you bring. This isn't just wishful thinking. I've coached clients who use this tactic to turn an okay offer into a great role by setting that early review expectation from day one. Because when you have a plan for growth on paper, it's a lot easier to secure the bag in real life. The eighth thing, don't sleep on this one: equity and profit sharing. Now, we don't talk about this nearly enough, but ownership matters. Equity means you're not just working for the company's success, you're sharing in it. If you're joining a startup or a growth stage company, they might offer stock options or restricted stock units, RSUs, as part of your compensation package. And even if it's a more established company, some have profit sharing programs that distribute a percentage of the company's profits to the employees each year. Here's why it's important: salary pays the bills, equity builds wealth. And listen, you don't have to be in the C-suite to ask about it. You can simply say, does this role offer any equity, profit sharing, or performance based bonuses as part of the total compensation package? Even if the answer is no, now they know that you're thinking like an owner, like a builder, like someone invested in the growth of the organization. And that is powerful energy to bring into the negotiation room. Quick reminder though, equity isn't guaranteed money up front. It's often tied to vesting periods and company performance. So if they offer it, make sure you get clear on when it vests, what it's currently valued at, and what happens if you leave before it's fully vested. Because a shiny offer doesn't mean much if the fine print isn't right. And that's on financial literacy and liberation, okay? The ninth thing you can and should bring up: leadership or visibility opportunities. Okay, this one is big because too often Black women are doing the work of leadership behind the scenes, but aren't positioned to be seen as leaders in the room. That's why you want to ask questions like, what opportunities will I have to lead cross-functional projects? Will I have a chance to present to senior leadership or represent the team externally? Are there internal committees, task forces, or mentoring programs I can be a part of? This is about more than just clout. Leadership visibility increases your chances of being tapped for future promotions, raises, and high impact roles. And here's the part I don't want you to miss: if you don't ask for visibility on the front end, you might end up doing excellent work in the corner where nobody's looking. And I don't want that for you. So even if they can't offer you a different title or salary right away, you can still advocate for access to high visibility opportunities that put your name in the rooms that matter. Because building your reputation internally is just as important as building your resume. And finally, the 10th creative item to negotiate is your wellness benefits. Let's be real. No compensation package is complete if it doesn't support your health. And I'm not just talking about medical insurance. I'm talking about the benefits that help you stay grounded, protected, and well enough to actually enjoy the life you're building. This could look like a monthly wellness stipend for therapy, yoga classes, or massage, employer-covered access to mental health apps or virtual coaching, additional sick days, mental health days, or personal leave, no meeting days or deep work days to reduce burnout. Wellness benefits are often overlooked in negotiations, but they shouldn't be. These are the things that help you sustain your brilliance long term. So if you're stepping into a high demand role, or you're managing a lot at home and at work, be bold about asking for the support that lets you show up whole. Because let's be clear, success should never cost you your health, and burnout is not part of your job description. And while we're on the subject of support, don't be afraid to get creative. I've seen folks negotiate for all kinds of benefits that made their lives easier and their work more sustainable. Office furniture stipends for their home workspace, paid volunteer days to stay connected to their community, commuter benefits to save time and money, housing allowances when relocating for a role, monthly mental health stipends because therapy is not a luxury. The point is this: if it helps you thrive in the role and show up as your best self, it belongs in the conversation. You don't just need compensation, you need capacity. And these are the kinds of benefits that help protect it. So to recap, here are 10 creative, non-salary items you can negotiate for in your next offer. 1, a signing bonus. 2, relocation assistance. 3, a professional development budget. 4, flexible work arrangements. 5, extra vacation time. 6, tuition reimbursement. 7, an early performance review. 8, equity or profit sharing. 9, leadership or visibility opportunities. And 10, wellness benefits. That's a serious toolkit right there. Now here's your next move. Pick your top 2, the 2 benefits that would shift your life, your energy, or your freedom the most, and keep them in your back pocket. Because the next time you're negotiating, you're not just showing up, you're showing out. And remember, closed mouths don't get fed. You've got to ask boldly, clearly, without shrinking. If you found today's episode helpful, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other incredible Black women who deserve to be paid, protected, and positioned for greatness. And next week, we're switching it up a little. I'll be joined by a special guest as we dig into how remote work is impacting not just our careers, but our families, our kids, and our legacy building moves. You won't want to miss it, trust me. All right, I'll see you right back here next Tuesday. Hey, thanks for watching the Getting Black Women Paid podcast. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to hit the notification bell so you can catch more episodes like this one. And join the conversation by leaving a comment below. Be sure to share this channel with the incredible Black women in your life so we can continue getting Black women paid. All right, we'll see you in the next one.